there, and welcome to a very special Dave Does video, and welcome to my Dave Does 1000th video. So over the last year and a half, 2 years, I've done probably now more than 1,000. So this video has been uploaded after a lot of other ones, which has taken me over the 1,000 mark, but this was recorded ahead of time. Specifically, I wanted to record it, but I wanted it to have a specific message in it that I couldn't put up for at least 2 months from the date of recording. So that's why. So today we're going to kind of cover a few things that I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about some of the different things like favourite albums I've had, favourite reaction videos I've done, talk about some of the comments we've had on the hair, maybe show some outtakes from, or at least one outtake that I wanted to show you that I found really funny of what happened to me on one of my videos, and a few other things. So I thought I'd go through that. And the video has this channel has changed a lot over the last sort of 2 years of doing it, ranging from very crappy camera settings, bad mic positioning, pop sounds, to obviously getting to where I am today and getting it a bit more slicker and listening to your feedback about what you wanted to see on the channel. So let's get into it. So the reason I've done it, the way I've done it, is in July 5th, 2019, I gave up drinking after 22 years of drinking every single day. And I was drinking anything from 4 pints up to 15, 16, 17 pints of lager, cider a day. And I was doing videos, I was functional, and you guys would have seen the videos. Up until that point, I would always be drinking. And I still have been drinking to some degree. In what I've been drinking is this, which is a alcohol-free, and this is a 0.00% beer. So it basically means it's 0.005%, so it's not even 0.1 of a percentage. So you would have to drink probably several hundred cans of this before you'd even feel any form of effect. So that's part of my way of doing it. But basically, I've been teetotal now for 12 months. So using alcohol-free beer was one of my tips for doing it. So do I miss it? Yes, there is no way of getting rid of it. But utilising the alcohol-free beer enabled me to not break the habit of having something to drink. And there's still the anxiety. And for 2020, going for 2021, for i.e. my second year, I'll be removing the alcohol-free beer from the equation. So this is going to be the next challenge, is to now break the habit of having that to hand. Because there is still a dependency. I've managed to get rid of the alcohol content, but I still have the habits that were the bad formed habits. And I've been slowly trying to break those down, but I'll be doing that for the next 12 months. But I just want to say thank you to everyone who gave me the support in the early days of doing that, and obviously have continued. And it is very difficult, and if anyone out there is going through the same thing and has made that decision that you want to give up, you can always contact me in my details down below. There has an email address as well. Send me a message if you are just struggling and want to talk. Or message back, or find out what I've done, or any tips I can give you. The one thing I can say is the only person that can make you decide if you want to give up alcohol is yourself, or any form of drug. There is no one that can do it for you, and the best will in the world, no matter what you get as interventions from family, the only person is you that's going to make that decision to change. So it's up to you to do it. But make sure you get your support from people around you. So that was the main message. Now, let's get into some of the other stuff I wanted to talk about. So we're going to do this as almost like an award show, if you like. So let's get into it. But let's do the blooper first. So going to be coming up on screen now. So this particular video I was doing a reaction video. When I do a reaction video, I tend to just be isolated. I have the headphones on, doors closed behind me, so you can't hear anything that's going on around the room. People come in and go in, and unfortunately my wife was trying to get hold of me for some reason. My phone was on silent, as it always is in reactions, and basically my mother-in-law was downstairs in the house, and of course I didn't hear her coming into the room, and this is exactly what happens. Jesus Christ. What?
And it says, could you answer her phone when she phones? She's got something to tell you. Important. Sorry.
Sorry everyone, I'm just in the middle of a video. Don't worry. And that's, of course, what happens when you get startled. So, yes, it was, I almost had a heart attack, and the phone call I gave to my wife afterwards was not very pleasant. But I left it video. I was kind of venting quite badly because, of course, I was halfway through a reaction, had to redo the reaction from scratch, which I hate doing. Because you trust me, when you've done a reaction and something's gone wrong and you've lost the video, trying to do the same reaction again when you've already now listened to the song is very, very difficult, and to try and get it convincingly. And I've had to do it a couple of times where I've then had to pretend it's the first time I've heard the song for you guys, because I've either the editing's gone, I've had a power failure, or something's happened which has lost the footage and I've had to redo the video. So it does happen occasionally. But yeah, that was something that happens. I don't get very many of these bloopers, but I wanted to share that one with you. Now let's talk about my favourites and different things. So I worked out over 1,000 videos. So let's talk about how much money. Obviously, these videos they're about 10 minutes. Anything can range from about 10 minutes long on average to 15 minutes. Plus, you've got editing time, upload time, thumbnail time. So the average amount of time it takes is about an hour per video to do everything, including editing, videoing, and uploading thumbnails, etc. So let's say 1 hour. It's 1,000 videos, so it's 1,000 hours. So based on my old salary of about $16.50 an hour on average, I get paid more than that now, but that would have meant I could have earned, if I put all this money into actually a paid job, I would have earned £16,500. Trust me, I've not earned anywhere near that. I've earned a little bit of money from your sponsored videos. I make nothing off of YouTube itself. I'm not yet. I think I've made about £45 in total from ad revenue, which I can't even access because it hasn't hit the minimum threshold of £70. So yeah, it's amazing to think I could have earned £16,500 if I just used the amount of time I did on videos and actually did an actual job that paid me what my old job used to do. But I don't even know if that's right. 1650, yeah. So 10 would be 160. Yeah, so 1,000 hours or 1,000 videos, 16. Yeah, it's crazy, huh? But yeah, that's actually, I thought I'd share that just to see how much money and time it gets put into doing these videos for the channel. Plus, we do more each and every time. I guess sort of videos I wanted to cover off was what is my favourite Nightwish track. So that's the one that keeps asking me. So I did a top 10 challenge. So these are my top 4. So in contention for greatest or my favourite Nightwish track, we have Everdream, Amaranth, I Want My Tears Back, and Elan. And the winner is, drum roll please, Everdream. So this was a real tight one. So it actually was a cross between Everdream and I Want My Tears Back. And the reason why I think I put those two as my top 2, obviously Amaranth and Elan. Amaranth and Elan were very commercial, very hooky. But the other reason for the other two is Everdream is very hooky. It sticks in my head and I keep singing it when I'm working. But more importantly, with I Want My Tears Back, I'm working on jobs and that bloody phrase just keeps popping into my bloody head. I want my tears back. And I'll just start singing that for no bloody reason. I won't even be listening to music at the time, but it'll get stuck in my head. So them two are mainly because it's just hook and they've just got into me. And I really like Everdream and I Want My Tears Back just because they are so accessible. But yeah, really, really, really enjoyed those. So next challenge or next person is which band have I come across who have got the most dedicated fans? And it's a slight difference. There are two awards we're doing today: dedicated fans and die-hard single-minded fans. Let's do dedicated fans first. So the nominations for dedicated fans are Nightwish, The Warning, Chromock, Bandmaid, and the winner is The Warning. So you guys you fans of The Warning, I've picked you because you tend to be you are very, very dedicated to your band. You really, really are dedicated to the band The Warning, but you're also you are open to interpretation, so obviously I've given a lot of feedback over it, and we've had some really interesting dialogue back and forth with each other over the channel in the comments, so I really appreciate the support you've given me to the channel, but also the honesty and the comments you've given where I've not always been critically nice about the band. I don't think I've ever been horrible about the band, but I don't think I've always been exactly as nice as what some fans would really like about a particular artist. But you've been accepting, you've given viewpoints, you've given challenges back, but you've always been clear and articulate in the way you've done it. So I really appreciate that, and I think you're incredibly dedicated to supporting your band. So well done. It's a band that I listen to the most post-reaction. So this is where I've come across bands and they've kind of... I've either gone and then had to go and buy the album because they've given me a hook or something like that. And I've just decided that I now listen to them on a regular basis. So for this one, we have, in the nominations, we have... Poets of the Fall, Beast in Black, Heaven's Dust, and Letters from the Fire. The winner is Beast in Black. So this was a really tight one for me because actually all four of those bands I listened to, I think Heaven's Dust is just a very cool band. I like with Heaven's Dust, you've got that clean vocalist. She's got this really nice vocal style. He's got this kind of real cool new metal thing going on, and they've got the Asian influence in stuff. It's just a real cool kind of mix up of stuff. We've got Letters from the Fire, very hooky, very commercial. I prefer their older stuff to the newer stuff that I've listened to more recently. Poets of the Fall, I listen to a lot. They've got some really cool, hooky, real melodic, driven sort of tracks. I love his voice. And then you've got Beast in Black, which just takes me back to 80s rock metal and is just such good stuff for driving the car. And as I said, I listen to a lot of music in the car. Beast in Black is probably one of my favourite bands right now. But well done, Beast in Black. You are freaking awesome. I love it. What else have we got on here? What video have I had the most thumbs down about? Okay, so most thumbs down. Let's have a look at this one. We've had, in nomination for my most thumbs down video, is Lordi, Hard Rock, Hallelujah, Name We, Invasion in the North, Bandmade On Set, and Pink Floyd's Comfortably Numb. And the winner is... Pink Floyd's Comfortably Numb. Okay, so yeah, Pink Floyd's Comfortably Numb. So we did this one. It was a live video I did, and I don't think I was overly critical. I listened to it. I gave some viewpoints around. I felt the solo was fairly chord progressive and was a little bit longer than I would have liked if I remember my reaction to that video. And my God, you guys did not like that comment. You've got to remember, Pink Floyd is one of these bands that you either like one. They're like Marmite in my opinion. You either like them or you hate them. I don't really hate them, but I've never been a lover of Pink Floyd. I've desperately tried to get into them to try because everyone keeps going on about how great they are. They've never connected with me, but. The other ones on there, Bandmade On Set, I can't remember why particularly that one particular reaction had so many thumbs down without going back and having another look at it, but it might have been the one where I was having a bit of an off day about Bandmade and was a little bit more critical. Name We, Invasion in the North, I remember I didn't like the lady singer in it. Her voice was just a nightmare. I couldn't stand her voice and said so much. She sounded nuts. So they didn't like that one. And Lordi, Hard Rock, Hallelujah was just too cheesy for me. Even though I then went back into some other Lordi and I actually really liked it, but it was because after that video. But yeah, people didn't like that one. But it was just funny how Comfortably Numb was. People just really hated that reaction. I did try to find some of my older reactions where I had. I know I did one which was the Zeppelin, which was the Heart playing Stairway to Heaven at the Kennedy Center, and I talked quite a lot over throughout the video, and people hated that. It was one of the earliest reactions on the old channel, but I unfortunately, because the resolution on the old channel was pretty poor, a lot of those videos never made it onto the new channel, so we lost a lot of those. But yeah, that was interesting. Comfortably numb. Most hated thumbs down. I think I had something like 48% likes, I think, on that particular video. And there was a lot of thumbs down over that one, so that was an interesting one. Okay, favourite Nightwish album. I thought I'd do this one because I thought it was quite interesting. So we've got Human Nature, Endless Form Most Beautiful, Century Child, and Dark Passion Play. And the winner is Dark Passion Play. So the reason I picked that particular one, I think, for me, is it's the one album I can put on and I love every song on the album. It's probably the most commercial of all of their albums. It's been written very much with Annette's vocals in mind. It's very hooky. There are elements on the new album which you can definitely hear. Annette could definitely sing on when How's the Heart would be one of the songs that I could definitely hear Annette singing. But I think Endless Form had some, I mean, not to say it for any of the other ones, but they are my 4 favourite albums of theirs. I really like Century Child. I think that's a great album as well. Endless Form is an amazing album. The Imaginarium I like, but not so much that it sticks out for me. Wishmaster, Tales from the Elven Path, Oceanborn are okay. They've never quite resonated with me or connected with me. A lot of that could be Faria's vocal style, but I really liked it on Century Child. So Century Child was a very cool cool album. But Dark Passion Play, great album, great songs on it all the way from start to finish. So my favourite album of theirs. I'd love to know what your favourite album of Nightwish is, and how many people actually have got Dark Passion Play as their favourite album. Don't know, not many probably, but who knows. Right, what have we got on here? A couple of other things I wanted to kind of share with you. So what is my most viewed video on the channel? Well, the most viewed video I have is a reaction to Chromok, and it's the song I Don't Belong Here, which at the time of viewing video we had 176,000 views on that particular video. It's really odd on a channel like this that on certain videos you will suddenly get a massive boost. So Chromok, Butterfingers, One OK Rock and Bandmade tend to have the highest viewers, and I think because when you search for Chromok or Butterfingers and videos, there's not many people have reacted to them, and there are not many actual videos on there, so I tend to come up quite high in the search ratings for that, whereas on things like Nightwishes and Bandmade, stuff like that, you don't tend to. With my Bandmade one I get more because they're in their own separate playlist. But when they're in a playlist, yes, you get more reactions from that. So that's the reason why I get that many views. But yeah, Chromok is my #1 viewed video. Okay, last one I wanted to share. So who are the most diehard single-minded fans who... And from this one, it was more a case of who are the fans who have got such a single-minded opinion of their band that they cannot accept any form of criticism whatsoever, or listen to anyone else's opinion about the band. It's their opinion and that's it. So who do we have as our nominations for this one? We have The Warning, Nightwish, Chromok, Alter Bridge, Bandmade, and Pink Floyd. And the winner is Pink Floyd! Yes, you Pink Floyd fans, you are so single-minded. I've never met a bunch of fans on a channel that are so close-minded to other people's opinions. I'm sure there are plenty of you out there that are, but and I've had a few comments from people that are Pink Floyd fans that kind of have the same sort of viewpoints on certain tracks. But generally, in a viewpoint, if you come in and someone says they're not a big fan of it, you guys get really negative about it. The people that talk about Pink Floyd as being the best band in the world. David Gilmour, the greatest guitarist in the world. He's a great guitarist. He is a good guitarist. But everyone puts them in this pedestal as the greatest. I don't believe there is anything called the greatest, because even I haven't checked the figures out on this one, but I can't remember what they said. The amount of population of the world versus the biggest selling album of all time or musician of all time is about 4% of the entire planet. So you can't be the greatest of the world if only 4% of the planet is. If the best-selling person in the whole world of music is only sold if that the amount they've sold is can be only seen by 4% of the entire planet, you're probably not there's no such thing as the greatest. There is just good musicians and people that like them. Any band that I like, I would say I like them, but it doesn't mean anyone else has to. So I'm a fan of Godsmack. I know a lot of people hate Godsmack. I love Hailstorm. I like Nightwish. I didn't like Nightwish when I first did reactions. So Poets in the Pendulum, I remember doing the reaction to that and not liking it. It's actually one of my favourite songs. It's on my favourite album by them, because it needed repeated listening to. It needed me to take time to absorb it, which is why reactions are interesting, but they're just the start of the journey, and songs need that accessibility to take you forward. I mean, there are bands like Sabaton that I couldn't stand when I first did them, and yet I was listening to 82nd All the Way yesterday in the car. So there are different things about music that they just take you on a journey. You can access them at different times, and that's why I appreciate the honest feedback from people. I had some feedback yesterday about a comment I made where I was talking over a lot of videos, and someone put in the comment they gave me a thumbs down because I talked over the video, and it was an old video, and I said I put a response in the comment for me was, sorry, it's an old video, I don't do that anymore. And their response was, over a year ago I gave you that comment and you told me to go F myself, which I never do unless they were abusive to me in the first place. I wouldn't ever tell anyone to F off unless they're being abusive. But they said, you told me to F myself, I guess I was right, and then insulted me. So I told them, stop being a dick, grow up, and basically you might be more successful in life if you stop being antagonistic and trolling people on channels, which I think is the right thing. People should stop doing it, listen to people's opinions and share. I'm not sure where I'm going with this. It's a bit of a random one. I just started going off on a bit of a rant, but these were just a few things that I thought. But I think the band that caught me off guard this year has definitely been Heaven's Dust. Just because it's one of the most weirdly evolved bands. I really like the mix. It's not the best produced. I was listening to Without a Voice. It's not the best produced album, but it's grainy, it's earthy, it's got some really weirdness to it, which is very cool. I really liked Blackbriar, good band. Vocally reminds me of very much of like what's her name? Is it Kate Bush? It kind of has a Kate Bush vibe to it. I Empire, really like that band. Kind of came across those through a reaction request. All Good Things, great band. Again, through a video reaction, came across them. Obviously, The Warning, Queen of the Murder Scene, that was cool. We Are the Fallen, great. I really like them. Rise to Fall. I've still got to do. What other ones we've got? One I've got to do some more. I've got some Paradise Lost Obsidian. I've been recently listening to that. Royal Deluxe. So there's a whole load of bands I've just started listening to recently. I'm going to be doing Queensryche Operation Mindcrime at some point in the future as a album review. And one other band, Our Last Night, has just kind of floated up on my spectrum for checking out, so they're going to be something coming up in the future. But lots coming through, lots more coming out. Obviously this is being filmed way ahead of the actual release date, so it should be interesting to know what's happened in the last 8 weeks ahead of the schedule. So who knows what's going to turn up in the next 8 weeks, but who knows. But if you like this video, please do subscribe, click the bell icon, like, share, leave the comments down below, continue to support the channel. It's always greatly appreciated, and that of course is how Dave does it.